All right, guys, welcome to another episode of the Limitless Mindset Podcast. Sunday morning, in here in the office getting some work done. I like to take weekends to kind of get a lot of my admin type stuff done. During the weekdays, it's just crazy. I have a lot of my team members in here, other agents within our brokerage, clients calling. During the weekday, things just get kind of crazy. So I like to carve out my weekends. My Saturdays and my early Sunday mornings, I get up, go to the gym, do my thing, and then I carve out the first half of my morning to kind of come in and get a lot of the admin type stuff done, some of the content. And it kind of led me this morning as I was thinking about something that I wanted to share with you guys today on our podcast. I think it's important. I think it's something that is absolutely essential. And if you guys are kind of finding a theme now with a lot of the stuff I drop with you guys, I try to really drop stuff that's only a value adder or of importance to you guys. Things that I think are what separates the action takers from the people that do not take action, the doers versus the do-notters, the people that actually are truly successful and have a limitless mindset versus the people that don't. So those are the things I share with you guys. And that's why I'm excited for the one today, because I think that this is something that will bleed into really all areas of your guys' lives. Specifically, obviously, work's going to be a great part of it, but I really think this is going to help everything, including relationships you guys have with friends, family members, work. Ultimately, this is one of the key pillars of success, in my opinion, in many different areas. So let's just dive right into it today. Today, what I want to talk about briefly, this is going to be a quick one, but it's basically just quit looking for the guarantee in anything that you guys do. Like I said, when I talk to people a lot, and this was myself as well too, I think when I was first getting into working for people, the workforce, business, things like that, people have this tendency to only make decisions based on a positive outcome, right? You almost look at it from like an investment thing, right? Like, where are you going to invest your time? Because time equals where are you going to work at? Where are you going to put your energy? Where are you going to put your guys' focus? And so many people out there are looking for the guarantee, right? If I want to go work at this job, I need to be guaranteed this much money. I need to be guaranteed a promotion within 2 or 3 years. I need to be guaranteed these benefits. I need to be guaranteed a leadership position, right? And you have all these guarantees and contingencies in place before you even step foot into this role or position, right? College. Well, if I go get a college degree, I need to be guaranteed that I'm going to make something out of it. If I spend $80,000 on a college degree, I need to be guaranteed that I'm going to make $100,000 a year. Otherwise, is it worth it? Is it not worth it? I don't know. If I go start my own business, am I guaranteed to succeed? It's a lot of risk. Is it, you guys are starting to see the theme here, right? If I go on a date with this person, I need to be guaranteed that they're going to work out for me, right? Everybody wants the positive upside with zero risk, right? That is the ultimate dream that everybody is chasing, is the guarantee. But I'm going to share something with you guys. The guarantee doesn't fucking exist. It's not even a thing out there that should even be on your radar, right? And I want you to look at things differently. As a matter of fact, I'm going to challenge you guys to look at things a little bit differently as you approach these situations in your life and start looking, for opportunities. Don't look for the guarantee. Look at situations and say, what opportunity do I have if I take this, right? Not what guarantee, because again, the thing with guarantees is they don't fucking exist. There is no guarantee in entrepreneurship, right? You're gonna fail. That is 100% guaranteed. If that is one guarantee, you're gonna fail. I can promise you guys, I have failed time and time and time and time again. Here's the really cool thing about failing, and I didn't really grasp this until one of the people that had mentored me had kind of challenged me to look at things a little bit quicker. And they said, honestly, you want to be looking for the failures and you want to fail very fast, right? Because here's the thing. Let's say, it's one of those things like you got a compass and you're heading in a direction, right? You have this clear picture. This is kind of where I want to go. This is what I want to do. I think I'm heading in the right direction. And you start out at point A, and you're going to end up in point B, which could be thousands of miles away, right? I want to take this trip. I want to go in this direction, so I'm going to go from here, and we're going to end up over there, right? So what happens if you start off that trip, and maybe you're off even just 1 degree slightly to the right, or you're off 1 degree slightly to the left? It doesn't seem like a lot, right? As you start to take off, you're just 1 degree. It still feels like you're on track. No, you're not really paying attention to your direction, your course. You just feel like you're heading in the right direction. But by the time you get to the final destination, that 1 degree can end up a full 90 degrees off, depending on how far down you go down the course. So think about it that way, right? Where would you rather find out you failed? Would you rather find out you failed all the way at the finish line, or would you rather find out, hey, I'm not doing things right now, right in the front end of this. I'm going to get going and then I'm going to readjust. It's not working, right? It's the same thing in business, right? Like I said, my coach, my mentor, one of the people that coached me was like, you want to fail as fast as possible, because the reason is you want to be able to separate what does not work right away. If it's not working, move on, get over, right? Test, move on, get over. You don't want to stay on a path of failure for too long. So when you have that mindset, when you go into things and say, okay, here's the deal. Probability is I'm going to fail. It's okay to find the failures as long as I don't allow those failures to continue to go. As long as I find them, okay, great, that failed, that did not work, test, move on to something else, move on to something else, move on to something else, right? And there has to be some consistency behind this. I don't mean give up like really easy depending on what it is. But ultimately, the point of this is you're not afraid of those failures. You're not looking for the guarantee in this. You're just looking as, does it work? Does it not work? I'm going to try this. I'm going to make an adjustment if I need to. Okay, I tried that. That definitely didn't work. Move on. I failed. Move on. Failed. Move on. And you're looking for that winner. And when you find those winners, that's where you go all in on that, right? It's the same thing in business. I've tried multiple businesses. When I got started in business, right, started selling. I sold stuff online. I still sell products online, but looks very differently than when I first started. I had an ironworking business where, we used to make custom security gates and doors and all that. And ultimately I had a bad business partner at the time that just was not good at growing and scaling a business. And that business ultimately friggin' failed, right? That one didn't work out too good. I've worked for multiple companies that just didn't pan out ultimately for two reasons. Either I wasn't a good fit with those guys, they weren't a good fit for my long-term goals. But guess what? Every single one of those opportunities and every single thing that I was in, I took a piece of that and built it onto my foundation to get myself better to where I'm going. So, this is where I think too many people get complacent in life and they stay stagnant and they're afraid to take risk because they cannot see the guarantee, right? I'll use real estate, for example. I'm going to get my license and I'm going to go do this. I'm going to jump in. Which brokerage do I go to that's going to 100% guarantee, my success? And they end up in places, honestly, that do not fit where they should be. It doesn't fit the culture they're looking for. It doesn't fit their learning style. They don't have the tools and resources that particular person may need because they think that, this one has a more guarantee, it's more solid, right? Instead of just taking the risk and investing in yourself and going somewhere where you need to be. When I interview people a lot, this is the thing. What am I guaranteed? What's the upside for me? What do I get out of this? What am I guaranteed? Guarantee. It's just this common theme that people are looking at. They cannot make a decision. So instead of going into these things and saying, hey, what opportunities does this have for me? Maybe there is not a guarantee, but what other opportunities are there? Because again, if you go in, and you guys have heard me say this before, and you focus on yourself and you focus 100% on growing your skill set, growing your value, learning new things. You show up every day, you put in the fucking work, you have a great attitude, you're optimistic, you're willing to try new things. When shit gets hard, you're not the first person to throw in the towel. And ultimately, like you guys heard me talk about on a previous podcast, you undeniably make yourself one of the best people in that organization to where management or the owners look at you as the go-to person. Guess what? The opportunities are going to find you because of the work that you put in. Those opportunities you may miss out on 100% because you were not guaranteed something on the front end, right? We see this all the time with startup companies. You guys have probably heard of a lot of different startup companies where the owner started off small, right? They started off in their garage. They were on like the front end of the growth. They had a couple of employees working for them and they said, hey guys, here's my vision for this company, right? I want to take this company and I want to grow it, but I need capital, right? I need investment for you guys. Do you guys want to come in? Do you guys want to work with me? It's going to be, $20,000 a piece to start this company, right? How many people have you guys heard of like, oh man, if I would have just invested in that company with that, it's massive now, right? The what ifs. But the reason, if you look at why they did not go in on an investment in that company, was because there was not a guarantee, right? You look at a lot of people going into investing in various things, right? It could be stocks, could be real estate, could be, all the new cryptocurrency, all the things that are out there to invest in right now. What is the thing that holds people back, right? It's the lack of guarantee, right? I'm not guaranteed this return. They want that nice, even, smooth, safe route instead of going into the opportunity or looking for the opportunity as they go into these things, right? Same thing on the startup side of things. Well, I know I'm on the front end of growth. I know it's a small company. I know, some money is a big investment for me. I may not see this money back. That is a possibility. There is no guarantee behind this. However, if it does work, now I'm a shareholder in this business. And by the way, the more work I put into growing this business, the harder that I work alongside with the owner and the CEO, the more opportunities it's going to create for myself. I'm going to be a shareholder in the company. As the company grows and expands, I can see myself possibly working my ass off to get promoted up to different levels. And here's the thing, guys, even if you guys work with the company, this is another part of the equation, right? Are you guys aligned with the right part in the right corporation? You may be in a company that just does a shitty job at growth. That's a whole nother conversation, and that's something that you can still learn from, you can still get skills from, and then take those skills and go apply them. Great example of that would be many of the tools and trades I use today. The management, the fundamentals, the core, the things that I do today in my very own business and companies that I own, I actually learned in the corporate world, right? The structure, the culture building, the team building, the accountability, the goal settings. That's not a whole lot of shit you learn in a small company, in a small business. I learned a lot of that from the bigger companies that I work for that have invested millions of dollars, right? You look at, for example, let's say you work for big companies. You work for Microsoft, you work for Home Depot, you work for Lowe's, you work, whatever company it is, it's some massive company that you're like maybe a manager within that company, right? Or maybe you're an employee, and you can see how much hundreds of thousands up to millions of dollars these companies spend in training and coaching their employees right now. You're one of those people. They're investing in you. It may not feel like it, and maybe you're a small piece of their bigger puzzle, right? But if you were smart, you would be paying attention to everything they're doing, right? Why do they do it this way? Some things may not make sense. You guys have heard me talk about in the corporate world. The one thing I did hate was the redundant meetings that were empty and didn't actually have value, that were like 3 to 4 meetings a week where I was wasting time. Meetings are important, though. There are things that need to be covered, training topics. So there's a balance on there. But I paid attention, right? There's a reason. It took, certain training modules. They used to focus heavy on, personality development. They focused heavy on accountability. They focused heavy on business, right? Big corporation. What's the dollar going in, dollar going out? These are all things that I learned from that company and from those jobs. I allowed them to invest into me and teach me all kinds of things, skills. That was an education. I was getting paid for it. Obviously, I was getting paid in return. But I didn't look at that as, well, shit, if they don't promote me to the upper director of whatever of this company, they don't care about me, I'm out. I was there learning, right? I had no experience in sales whatsoever. But the way I saw things was, I'm here, I'm gonna learn, I'm gonna get promoted, I'm gonna bust my friggin' ass and see how high I can go. And if I don't make it as high as I wanna go, and at that point where I feel like I've learned everything I could possibly learn, I'm gonna make my departure, right? And I've done that several times. I'll stay with the company as long as I possibly can, learn as much as I needed to, and then went and found something else, translated into another skill, had to pay the bills. And then I took all of that information and experience that I've gained from these corporations that invested millions of dollars in time and hours into training and coaching and building out their infrastructure. And I took all of that and I put it right back into my business. And there's things that I use today that I learned, right? My previous big corporation job, database management, lead generation, nurturing, follow-up, right? Customer relations, repeat client. Those are all things I learned at past businesses that, guess what, helped me today in my very own business. Had I went to that first interview with that company, right? I think they started me off at like 30 grand a year and said, you know what? Unless you guys can guarantee that I come in here and you promote me to upper management within 2 or 3 years, I'm fucking out. I'm not going to take this opportunity. Had I done that, had I gone into that looking for the guarantee, think about all of the other things I missed, right? By not being a part of that, by passing up that opportunity, right? Guess what? I did make it into upper management. I did learn a lot of things. Several companies I worked for, small business I worked for before doing marketing, right? There was no guarantees in that. Hey, we'll pay you. You don't get any health and benefits. You don't get any insurance or anything, but we're going to pay you a fair salary. You're going to pay good money and you get paid a bonus. And we're going to teach you how to grow and scale small doctor practices and grow them, right? We'll show you how to do that. We just need you to get the information out and market like crazy. And I said, okay, I don't really know what this looks like, right? I don't know. It's a small company. I don't think there's a whole lot of opportunity to go very high. I mean, there really wasn't that many levels from the business owner to me on the marketing level. So it wasn't like I had this, long 10-year plan of promotions and shit like that. Hardly had any health insurance. But I went into that saying, you know what? The pay's good. I can work with this. And I also had the opportunity, there's that key word again, if you guys are listening, I had the opportunity to go into this business and learn something new about growing a company, right? It's a small business. I was curious, like, shit, how do they do this, and how do they run their accounting, and how do they run their payroll, and how do they grow offices? And all I got to do is go in and do what I do, which is marketing like crazy and create so much value for these guys. And guess what? When it came time for me to leave and start my own business, they offered me a raise. I was so valuable. He said, you know what? We're going to give you money if you stay. So I stayed for another year. And then again, I had to depart as my own side business, which was now my company doing real estate, had started to grow again. I went in to quit. And guess what? They offered me a raise again. I was almost making double the amount of money I was in 3 years than I was when I first started with them. But I learned everything about in the field marketing. I learned about budgeting. I learned about making profits and taking some of those funds and reinvesting in from a small business perspective. So now I have large corporate structure and knowledge, consistency. I have small business knowledge on, how to finance, how to budget, how to grow that, how to work with people on the front lines, how to work directly with the business owners. I've taken all of these things, and I'm going to call them opportunities because that's exactly what they were. There was no guarantees in any of that. If there was a guarantee in any of that, guess what, guys? I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be doing my own thing, right? But I took all those opportunities that I got and I wrapped them into one, and I started my own companies with it. And it wasn't easy. It took time. But like I said, I did not expect anything from any of those opportunities. I went into those looking for what can I learn? What can help me? How can I create the most impact? How can I grow, right? And then take that and apply it into my own business. And this is where so many people fuck up today, is they don't go in and they do not look for the opportunity. Every time, I've had agents come in and interview with my brokerage. What can you guarantee me? Guarantee. I'm not going to guarantee you shit, okay? What I can guarantee you is tons of opportunities, right? We have a successful blueprint that works. I can show you exactly how I run my business. If you want to do what I do one day, you want to leave and go start your own, guess what? Come work with me. Come see how I do things. Come create so much fucking value for me that if you ever come to me and say, hey, it's time for me to depart, right? I'm going to want to do whatever I can to try to help you stay with me, right? That's where the value is. And that's the thing a lot of people need to think about. When you go into these companies, and you go into these interviews, or you go into a brokerage if you're a real estate agent or a lender or whatever line of business you're in, and you're going in, what can I get? Me. What the fuck is that owner going to do for you, right? You're not even going in there improving yourself, right? All you're doing is talking. This is who I am. How about you show up every day and you say, okay, I can see some opportunity here. I like what these guys have. I like their personalities. This is somewhere that I think I can fit in, right? And this is somewhere I can create some value. Now let me get my foot in this door and let me show you guys why you need me here, right? Not what can you give me, what can I give you that's so valuable that when it comes time for me to leave, or if that opportunity comes, you're going to have that conversation with me on talking about how to get me to stay, right? That is where your guys' mindset needs to be. And looking for the opportunity again. Stop looking for the guarantee. There is no guarantee. The only guarantee is if you bust your friggin' ass every day, in and out, great attitude, willing to learn, you're never going into anything with expectations. I promise you management is going to notice that. I promise you business owners are going to notice that. They look for people like you. They're not going to openly go out there and say, hey, here's what you need to do to get promoted. You'll promote yourself through doing those things, right, with zero expectations. My favorite people to promote are the people that don't ask for it. And when it comes time and I need them, and I'm like, okay, it's time to hire for this position. It's time to grow. I need help. I need to leverage. I'm going to go look for the people in my organization that are with me first before I go outside, and look for the people that have the good attitude, right? If it's a new position that I know is going to take some adjusting, some work, and I go look at this person, I say, man, they got good skill, but I know if I hire this person, they're going to expect something out of it, right? They're going to, well, what raise am I get? What do I get? What do what do I get out of it, right? I probably wouldn't even approach that person, even if I think their skill set is there, because guess what? I can train a skill easier than I can train a personality. If you have a shitty personality, if you have a shitty attitude, I can't help you there. I cannot change your mindset. I cannot coach you to have a better mindset. Most managers won't. I can train you on how to do a certain task. I can train you how to do a certain hard skill. Those are all things that I can easily train. Those are things I would much rather train somebody on than training for a positive attitude or trying to rework their entire brain. That is the point of this podcast, by the way, and why I share these things with you guys, because I want you guys to start to think about things a little bit different, right? You need to make that mind shift from I'm just a standard employee, what can I get out of the life, right? Versus taking accountability for yourself and creating so much value through the actions every day with zero expectation and letting your results speak for themselves so that management wants to promote you, hire you, or teach you everything that you need to know to go eventually start your own business. Because trust me, when you start a business of your own, if you decide to go down that path, you're going to need people. You won't be able to do it on your own. I don't give a shit what you say, what you think. That was an arrogant mistake that I had when I went in, because I could tell you today I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for people helping me. I wouldn't be where I am if I didn't have an amazing group of people underneath me that I focus very hard on developing and coaching and hiring from within and promoting the people in my organization that have busted their ass and deserve that. So hopefully today, this creates a little bit of value for you guys. I just want you guys to change that outlook you guys have. If you're one of those people that are always looking for the expectation or the guarantee, stop that shit. Start looking at the opportunities that are in there. If you take that, what opportunities are available to me if I go in and just do what I can do, which is in my control, busting my friggin' ass, having a good attitude, looking to take on new challenges, to show management I'm valuable. Look for those opportunities within a company, not what they're gonna guarantee you, right? Because you're passing up opportunities. So as always, guys, get out there, get after it. And if you guys found some value in this, I only ask you guys one thing. Please drop a comment. I'd love to hear your guys' feedback. Please share it. Like I said, for me, this is something I do for free to help you guys. This is me sharing a little bit of my world and some of the things that I've learned, a lot of the lessons I've made mistakes on that I try to pass on to you guys not to make mistakes. So all I ask in return is you guys help me spread the word about it. If you guys know somebody right now going through this that maybe you could get some value from this, share it with them. Drop it on your social media. Tag them in the post below. Like I said, all that stuff really, really helps me out, and I greatly appreciate it. So as always, guys, get out there, crush it.